Don't you think this is starting to wear on me? You've been raining down like hail. I'm weak. I have tried to give you my soul, but you can't love something you own. It's too late to repair what we made. What can I do? Time flashed by and I woke up on the other side of the moon.
G'day everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Anna and this is You Got Me in Stitches. Also today it's Tuesday, so what does that mean? Tip time Tuesday. Today I am going to show you two little tips here. And do you ever purchase clothing, whether it's thrifted, brand new or anything like that, and you have these really annoying little ribbon loops here? Now the purpose of these loops is for hanging purposes. Obviously this is a pair of ready to wear pants, and you get them on pants, you get them on skirts, you get them on sometimes t-shirts, and especially dresses, and really lovely dresses, and it just absolutely helps with the hanging on the hangers that are used, whether they're wooden, metal or fabric ones, just to kind of keep the balance a little bit more in kilter and to help with the strength, so therefore it doesn't pull too much on the actual main fabric itself. But when we wear the clothes, I always find that hanging out above kind of where the shoulders are, if it's a tee, and struggling to kind of push them in when I am wearing pants and things like that. So again, you guys let me know, do you find them a little bit annoying, or do you actually prefer them in your garments? For those that perhaps dislike them, we get our scissors out and we remove them from the garments. Now, what do you guys do afterwards? Do you just toss them in the garbage, or do you actually recycle them? So today I am going to show you a few pictorial images of ideas that I have used for these little hanging loops, and again let me know if you recycle them and what purpose do you use. Sometimes we might share the same ideas, or we may have different ideas. What I'm going to do first is just to verbally run through some of the ideas that I have either picked up from other people and or figured out in my own sewing journey and things like that, and kind of just seeing things and visualizing and thinking, oh, that's a really good idea. Maybe if I use that and adopt that approach, maybe that could come in useful. Because I'm sure you guys are fully aware that sometimes you have something and it has dual purpose, like with the little toast mix and everything holders that I had, not just for keeping toast in. You can also put your sewing patterns in as well. I will quickly tell you the repurposing that I have used them for, and I'll also insert photographs. Now because I don't have the software to insert photographs and obviously then do the talk over them, I will talk now and then I will show you the images. Now let's start with a very important one, scissors, especially fabric scissors. How many times have we put our fabric scissors down and perhaps other friends and things like that, or people who live in your household think, ah, there's scissors there, let's take them to the paper. No. So the little hanging loops, if they're different colours, which they do come in quite an array of different colours, you can colour code your scissors, and some people have a lot of scissors that they have for paper and for cutting out their fabrics, different shapes and sizes and things like that, and they also dual purpose in the sense of colour coding them, so perhaps other people in the household know that they are specifically for fabric. But also if you didn't want to actually hang your scissors on hooks from the handle, again you can wrap the loop around the handle and then just hang on whatever hook that you have in your sewing area. The fabric loops are also really good if you are a little bit like me and teenage Earthling and you're a bit of a bookworm, and they can be used as bookmarks, so then you'll never be able to lose that page ever again. And you can make whatever length you would choose, because some of the hooks do come in various lengths and colours, but again, it's just a little extra idea. Saves having to make bookmarks, saves having to purchase bookmarks, and they're very tiny, as you know, the little ribbon loops, and they just go in all different kinds of sizes of books. And if you have like little tiny books, again, you can snip the ribbon to size and voila, there you go, a little bookmark. In the kitchen. Now, what could you think? In the kitchen, what purpose would these little hanging loops have in the kitchen? Now what about tea towels? Sometimes some people like to hang their tea towels from hooks, and if you don't have a little hook on the actual tea towel, all you need to do is just do a little bit of hand sewing, if you prefer hand sewing, and cut the little ribbon loop to size, and there you go, a little hook on the tea towel. Or oven mitts, gloves, pot holders, anything like that. Really good, kind of keep tidy and hang and things like that. But also some people like to keep the little tea towels, pot holders, anything like that in drawers, and so it's not always necessary to have those little hooks, but they are there if you would like. And also little tea cozies, sometimes you just see the little hook on top. Again, if you cut the ribbon loop to size and attach that to your little tea cozy, again, you can just hang it out the way, maybe if you have a little pantry or anything like that. So very versatile. Also, you could actually return them to the clothing, and you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, I just cut them out of the clothing, do I really need to actually re-add them to clothing? Yes, you can. If you make them into little tiny decorative bows, they could go on a little top as a decoration, and also maybe a pair of socks. Sometimes if you see socks with that little ribbon going on there, again, because most of the loops are made out of ribbon, if you're really good at tying little bows and ribbons and things like that together, perfect for decoration. Also, if you just fold them in half and sort out the raw edges, again, they could be put in the back of your garment, and instead of using perhaps labels, or if you have little labels but you don't have any to hand, or you've used them all up and you're thinking, well, what could I put in my garments? Especially with the younger ones, when they get a little bit muddled and not know their front and their back on their clothing, just install a little piece of ribbon there. And also, they're not too annoying because they're really tiny and very, very soft. They won't irritate the neck. Ask me how I know. I predominantly actually cut most of my labels out of my clothes because I just don't like that irritation in the back of my neck. And unless it's something that is really pleasing to the eye and I want to keep it in there, then I'd actually stitch it down so then it doesn't irritate. But again, these little hanging loops, they're so small and not very irritating. They come in really well for putting into garments, so you know your back from your front. Also, a lot of us are very familiar with zippers. Yeah, I think sometimes I have nightmares about those. Absolute arch nemesis. Anyway, sometimes on little purses, little bags, gift bags, things like that, cases, you will see the little ribbon actually put through the slider. Pretty much most zippers have that little eye, and again, there, instead of having that kind of finicky, fiddly kind of zipper going on, especially if the zippers are you know, the actual sliders and everything like that are very tiny and a little bit fiddly to grasp, and also for people that have a little bit of limited movement in their dexterity in their fingers. Again, these little loop hangers are fantastic. So all you need to do is just to slide them through the eye of the zipper there and to whatever desired length, and then you have that extra pulling mechanism which is more comfortable and a lot softer on the tips of the fingers. And also it's a little decoration as well there, but it's very practical. Now, I don't really want to say this word yet because we've just got over it, and yeah, it's a little way off yet, but Christmas, yeah, that's right. Your Chrissy decorations that you put on your tree, if for whatever reason the little hook attachment has come off some of your baubles, again there, using this ribbon and sliding it through the bit that covers the top of the bauble, then you would be able to hang them back on your tree. Or sometimes, even if the hook is still there, but for whatever reason the actual eye of it is not expandable and you can't kind of push it in the tree, or you would just like your bauble to hang longer down, again, pick up these little hanging loops, cut to the desired size, wrap them around the wire of the bauble loop, and there you go, you have an extra hanging loop. And again, you don't actually have to use it, but you could still keep it on your Chrissy bauble. Now, pretty much most of us sewists have little kitty cats, don't we? So, kit toys. You're thinking, mad crazy woman, how would hanging loops be kit toys? Well, if you collect enough of the hanging loops and kind of keep them or cut them to the desired length that you would like them at, and at pretty much the same length if you would like to, they can be different lengths as well, and gather them all up and stitch all the ends together, kind of all together as well, and it's kind of then a long tessely toy. And again, you could add that to a stick and just wiggle it about and they will get very hyperactive. So yeah, a little pet toy. Making sure that you are with your pet the entire time, just for safety reasons and common sense, because for whatever reason, sometimes any toy, whether it's store-bought and or homemade, occasionally little bits may come off. If so, then obviously you would pick them up, but just making sure that safety is always paramount. They're our little babies, aren't they? So we want them to be looked after. The other thing is house plants or plants out in the garden or yard. And you're thinking again, how? What? Okay, be with me on this one. So for instance, as an example, you have a little pot plant and for whatever reason it's drooping, it's feeling really sad, and it's like you need to prop it up. Okay, so where do the loops come in? The loops are really soft. You know, you have the little tiny canes, sticks, whatever you have, and you would then insert them in the soil in the pot and perhaps maybe prop your plant up towards the stick that you have inserted in the soil, and there you go, thinking what's next? Well, you would then gently tie your plant around to the stick, and therefore it helps enable the plant to stay up. It would stay attached to the stick, and for whatever reason, if then the plant, maybe it was just a little bit thirsty and therefore it was drooping, or maybe it was too much in the sun or not enough in the sun, whatever reason, drooping can happen for various reasons. So we just help them, prop them up. But again, these little hanging loops are fantastic. They're really small and again different lengths, and you just cut it to the desired length. So you'd wrap it around your plant, wrap it around the stick that you have inserted, tie it off, and there you go. And it's really soft for the plant as well. And again, outdoors. Now, I don't actually know how long they last outside, because obviously being in all sorts of weather and things like that, but again, they work equally as well. And they're more gentle on the plants, so sometimes some people use the wires and twist the wires around, and I think sometimes it's a little bit harsh, and maybe, you know, sometimes they may degrade and go rusty and things like that. So again, these little loop holders are actually really good for supporting your plants, flowers and things like that. This one, we are going back to clothing again. Oh no, not more in the clothing. Okay, so us ladies, that we have our little cami tops, bras, things like that, and we have a tee over the top. Sometimes the tee neckline and or maybe the bra strap may be a little bit loose, whichever is kind of in contention with each other. And you know, you have the little loops inside the clothing and you wrap around the strap of the bra. Well, you can use these hanging loops. You would cut them to the desired length that you would need. You would also have the little teeny tiny snips, so you would add your snips. You would work out where you would like the little loop to be in the garment, and then you stitch that in, and therefore it will go under and around the strap, catch the strap and help the garment support where needed. We are still in the clothing, but we're going to end it here on the clothing. And my final idea, and yes, this does work. Now, there are lots of wonderful things out there to help stabilize around the shoulders and the necklines, waistlines on garments, and I'm in no way saying don't ever purchase them. You continue to purchase them and whatever works for you, but this is just a little extra idea. Those hanging loops are really strong, and I have found if I want to stabilize and or reinforce the shoulder seams, they come in really well. And again, because they're not too big, and sometimes on garments if you need to reduce your allowance, having them being so narrow and very strong, they work really well. So maybe you'd like to give that a go, and if you do, let me know how you get on. But again, you may already know this and you may already be using the little loops for reinforcement and structure and things like that. I made a pair of pants that actually has never made the grain of the video. This was way before I'd actually started filming and vlogging, things like that, and I used it for support around the waistband of a pair of summery pants, and it just adds that little bit of structure. Again, if you have a little bit of stretchy fabric and things like that, it holds it so well. So again, let me know, do you use them for that? Yeah, I'm sure you guys have heard of all of the little ideas and suggestions there, and let me know in the comments if you have seen and or heard and or used more of things that I haven't even mentioned. Now, where to store all these kind of little long straggly bits of loops? Okay, so I have a little box here that I thrifted, and it was just literally a few cents, and all I do is just keep them inside. So it's a little bit of a tingled mess in there, but they are out the way, and keeping them in a little decorative box is very pleasing to the eye. And you don't have to have a very big box, or if you'd like to make a little baggie, anything like that. You can also have the pull ties and things like that in your little baggie and use them for that as well, and put them all in there. I hope you guys have enjoyed these little tips and tricks. I will see you guys on Sunday, and please stay safe, happy sewing, take care, and thank you so much for watching.